Digital Forum, and I'm joined here by the CEO of Telstra. And Andy, how are you?
Great, Lee. Fantastic to be here. Really exciting.
And Andy, you've been here for a couple of days now, looking around the ecosystem and what's happening in Indonesia.
Yeah, look, well, we've been doing business in Indonesia for a long time, and we've got a team here on the ground. But great opportunity with this digital forum to be here and actually sort of just see how fast things are changing in Indonesia and some of the really cool and exciting, new developments, particularly in the digital space.
Very, very much so. So we're very much focused on the youth audience and trying to help and inspire young people to get into business. So just, can you give us a little bit of backstory? I think Telstra's, what's the revenue, the market cap size of Telstra now?
Telstra's a big company.
Let's just say it's a big company.
Put it that. We have about just under 30 billion in revenues,
wow.
10 billion in EBITDA, tens of thousands of people on our team.
Wow.
And I think, putting the numbers aside for a second, we're just doing some really interesting stuff, whether it's in technology, in media, in telecommunications. I mean, it's really super exciting.
Yes, it is. And so I suppose we're seeing the emergence of the new innovation and the transition from the old world economy into the new economy. Indonesia's a very important partner historically with Australia, but probably more so in the older world economy, services, mining, that type of thing. How important do you think this type of event and these type of collaborations with Indonesia is for Australia?
Well, what was fascinating today is that a couple of the Indonesian officials were saying that almost 10% of foreign investment today in Indonesia is actually going into new digital type of initiatives, as opposed to, as you say, the old sort of traditional resources and agriculture, those sort of things. So it's something that's happening, and I think it's really going to take off very, very fast. The other thing about Indonesia, of course, it's a very young economy. So, people in Indonesia are young. It's an economy that, from a digital point of view, they're born mobile, so back in Australia we all sort of...
Digital natives?
Yeah, we came from the world of desktops, and we're sort of trying to shift over to being mobile, but, born mobile here, and some really cool, great startup environment here. And
amazing startup.
And one of the guys was also saying, I think they're on their fourth unicorn, which is obviously a startup which is valued at $1 billion, and that's 4 out of the 7 that exist in Southeast Asia, so punching above their weight there too.
So being a CEO of a company that size obviously is a massive job. I don't envy you. But for young CEOs and startups and perhaps the guys that are starting out, what's something, the piece of advice that you give them that you've learned on your journey through your business career?
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm the best to give advice, but I'll try. But I've always found, look, the thing about success is it happens at the intersection between what you're good at, what is going to work commercially, so it's obviously got to stack up and make good business sense, but what you're passionate about. And in the end, that is the single most important thing to me. Follow something that you're passionate about, because if you love it, you're passionate about it, that's going to be contagious, and there's a pretty good expectation you're going to find a way to make it successful.
Yes. So I read a World Economic Forum report in 2016 that was saying the 3 important skills in the future are going to be critical thinking, problem solving, and creative thinking. Top 3, right? That's transitioning from an old world economy to a new world economy. Do you think we are prepared, and are we preparing our children and educating them on those 3 critical skills?
Look, I think you could always do more, but I think it's in the sense of, so I think, in our curriculums and in policy, we are doing a lot in, STEM and sort of education around science, technology, electronics and engineering and mathematics. But the one you really put your finger on, which I think is very cool, is creativity, because often I think we underplay creativity. And, in my spare time, I paint. I have to say...
So do I.
There you go, cool.
And play music.
Oh, well, we should copy. I will share some ideas. But hey, I have to say, I don't paint very well.
Neither do I.
But it's fun, and I tell you what, because it exercises a different part of your mind than, as a CEO of a large company, I'm sort of constantly put in a position where I'm having to think logically and rationally and, talk in numbers and all that sort of stuff.
That's right.
And it sort of forces that creativity out of your mind. So finding ways to exercise that part of your mind as well, so you can bring that into your thought process, I think is key.
Drawing on the right side of your brain, as they say.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, Winston Churchill, I don't know if you know this, but Winston Churchill was a great artist, and he wrote a little book, which is, if you haven't read it, get hold of it. It's called Why I Paint. And it's actually exactly this theory. He painted because he wanted to sort of try and create the space in his mind to bring that to his sort of day job.
Excellent. Okay, so creativity, passion. Andy, appreciate your time. Thank you very much for joining us at Beach City. Keep watching Beach City Life and look us up on YouTube. Just search for Beach City.
Cool. Thanks guys.
again.
Great to see you, Lee.